Hi and welcome to this short tutorial video on the iCalve app that's available through iTunes. I have it already installed on this iPad. However, if you're interested in finding where to get the iCalve app, I'm just going to go into Safari, which is the web browser for iPhones and iPads, and you can see the one link here, iCalve, on the App Store on iTunes. It's approximately $12 US. You will have to, it's not a free app, you have to pay for it. You can navigate to that link and download it by clicking this would say purchase and install. I already have it installed on this iPad, so that's why it says open. So I'm just going to back on out of here, and we're going to click on the iCalve app icon and just go back to the main screen here. So the main screen, when it opens up, it has a number of different buttons, as you can see here, and I'm going to navigate to this herd data. So you would put in particulars about your operation. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to put in Western Beef's information. I'm going to say WBDC and just WBDC again for the operation name. When our bulls turned in, I'm going to just use from our 2014 breeding season, as I'm going to show you some entry for 2015 calves. So we turned our bulls in just early July, so I'm going to do July 3rd, 2014. When are the bulls pulled? It auto defaults to the current date, so I'm having to go backwards here. But if you were making these entries in real time for your current season, then it would have it, if you enter the date on the bull turned in day, then it would be the correct date right off the bat. We're having to go back in time to enter some of this. So the bulls were pulled at Western Beef September 5th, 2014. Cow inventory. Well, how many cows are we expecting to have? We have 282 on hand. Bull inventory, we have 18 bulls. And bred heifers on hand, currently 54. Pregnancy check date, we are checking usually in late October, so I'm going to put October 24th, 2014. Our females, they're vaccinated starting in late May and into early June. So I'm just going to put June 1st. And hit enter. The cows, when do they come on grass? The cows are going on grass. Last year it was June 3rd, so I'm just going to anticipate that it's going to be pretty similar to that again this year. And enter. Cows on feed. Last fall we went on to feed in late October, so I'm just going to put that information in here, assuming it's going to be somewhere very similar again for 2015. Branding date, we do not have a branding date, so I'm just going to leave it as the current date. It wants some sort of date, so we'll just leave it as May 12th. And weaning date, we're weaning generally end of September, 1st of October, so we're just going to put the 1st of October. Obviously, you'll put your exact dates for your operation when you're, if you were to use this app, download it. And calf sale dates, we generally sell pretty much within a couple days of weaning. They go right off the cow. So last fall we weaned the 29th of September and the calves were sold the very next day. So we'll put October 2nd. And how many heifers do we typically retain? You'll want to have that for the pertaining to the 2015 calf crop, so I'm going to leave it empty for now. But last year we retained 67 B heifers. And I think that is all the information. So you can put a bunch of parameters, a bunch of records, and important dates. This is really useful, especially when you want to do cost of production analysis and just reviewing your herd's production indicators from year to year to have these dates and inventory numbers. So I'm going to hit save. That information is captured and saved. There's a settings button. the only settings here, you can go to iCalve's website by clicking on the support button. You can remove all your records by hitting reset, and you can link to a Dropbox, which I've already done. So Dropbox is sort of like iCloud. It's a great place to save folders and files so that you can access between your laptop, your smartphone, your tablet. The same files can be in all different places if you set up Dropbox on each of those electronic devices. So I'll just hit back and go back to the main screen. So all these different icons here. If I click on CAF records, you can see there's a little plus sign to enter a new CAF born. So I've entered already 5 calves. And if I want to enter a couple more calves, calf ID, so we'll put in 5C as my next calf, and the dam ID on 5C is 395X, and this calf was born, see again, it auto defaults to the current date, so if you were, it's one less field to have to enter if you're entering them with every birth on a day-to-day basis. This calf was actually born on April 7th of 2015. And your options are heifer or bull. You can't put steer. So male or female. Bull, we are castrating or ringing most of our male calves at birth. So I would prefer to have a steer option there. The birth weight on 5C was 90 pounds. I'll leave it as unassisted. And in the notes, you could put something about the birth. What I'm going to put, because I don't see it here, is my traceability number. There's no field to put your RFID tag in this app. But I'm going to show you that when you do a PDF printout or generate your results to go to a PDF report, there is a field that shows up where you could handwrite in the RFID number. So just enter there. It's all the information, and then 5C shows up as the 6th calf. Now I'm going to back up. Another button they have is the death loss record. So if you lose a calf, you could put some information in. So we've lost a couple of calves so far here in our 2015 calving season. I'm going to just put some of them, when they're born dead, we don't tag them. So I'm going to just have no tag 1. The date of this calf's death was April 17th. Reason for the death, unknown. And I'd like to have the dam's ID in there as well. So the cow that had this calf was 349W. And save. So there you can see one calf death loss record has been inputted. It also has an icon for keeping track of cows that you want to have on a list for culling. So I've entered a couple here, 50P and 85R. So you can just go in and see some details, it's the cow ID, the reasons for culling, and some additional notes. So if we just add an additional cull cow here, I want to cull cow 127S, and the reason I want to cull her, poor mother, won't let calf suck. Enter and save. And so there's your information. So if you're ever going through running your cows to the chute and you want to see who you think should be on the call list, you have these records at hand right on your smartphone. So I'll just move back. Doctor records as well. So you can put any treatment records in. This is the fields that they have for treatment records. So is it a calf, a cow, a bull, or a heifer, a steer? So interesting that they have the steer option there in the animal doctor, but not under the calving records. You'd put in the tag ID, the date, and then what was the treatment that was used. So pretty limited records there. And then you can see what I did is I just put in a very generic all the heifers were treated. So I put cow, tag ID, my A heifers, because it was all the heifers that are tattoo letter A were treated on February 19th, and they were given 2 cc's of Scour Guard. So that's one way you could just make some very quick records on any health treatments. There's a simple little gestation calculator. So um, if we're putting our bull in with our cow starting July 3rd, our cows are due to calve Wednesday, April 13th of 2016. So just a quick little tool in there to tell you your expected calving dates. And then on the bottom right hand, you'll see one that says export records. So if I click on that, there's a few different reports that will generate as PDF files. And I'm going to just click on the calf records one, and you'll see the PDF form with all your data that has been typed in. So it says the year 2015, producer name, Western Beef Development Center, and then the calf IDs, the cow IDs, so basic information that's been entered, and it's in a PDF form. And then you'll see on the last column of this report is the traceability number. I've already entered it under the notes, but if you wanted to be handwriting in or peeling the little stickers off and placing them there, then that's how you would end up doing that. The same thing on the doctor records. We can go to that report, see what it kind of looks like. And you'll see animal doctor cow A heifers on this date, and this is the treatment that was used. So it's useful to be able to get those. PDF is a static report. The downfall with that is that when you get these calf records in a PDF, you can't do any sort of analysis. They're not in what's ideally, I would want this to export to CSV, so a comma separated values file. So allow me to import it into Excel or my record keeping programs if I would have one to do more analysis. I know that iCalve is supposed to be coming up with an upgrade. It was on their website, they say April 20th. I don't see it quite yet, and so we'll have a sync function. And at the end of the year, there's also this rollover feature where it does export out to CSV. I'll take you into the Dropbox folder where I was able to get iCalve data. So there's some PDFs, and then you can see right at the bottom, yearly record. So I'm just going to try and turn my iPad here and see if it shows up a little bit better for you to view. So it has just a CSV file, which this is then, you can move it into Excel spreadsheets, and it'll have any of these records. Nothing here has been populated except for this herd data. So you can see herd data, name of operation, term Monday, bulls turned in, with some dates. This was from a couple of years ago when I was initially playing around with this app. So all these would be populated. So there is a way at the end of the year to get your data out at in a CSV format, but during the year, all you can access is PDF formats. So here's some old reports from when I've played around with this app. So I'm just going to back on out of that and go back into the iCalve app. So there you go, just a really quick tutorial to show you sort of the ins and outs of the iCalve app available for your iPhone, iPad, types of electronics. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at klarson.wbdc@pami.ca. Thanks.